Right now, somewhere on the internet, a company you signed up with 3 years ago just sold your email address. Not hacked, not breached. Sold. Legally? Quietly. To a list broker who sold it to another company who sold it to another one. And that's why your inbox is a disaster. That's why you wake up to 47 promotional emails from brands you've never heard of. That's why you keep creating new Gmail accounts. One for shopping, one for work, one for newsletters, one as a burner for sketchy websites, and then forgetting the passwords, losing track of which email you used for which service, and eventually abandoning the whole thing and starting over. But here's what almost nobody tells you. You don't need to create a single new Gmail account. There's a system built directly into Gmail and a layer of tools on top of it that gives you unlimited email identities, routes everything to one inbox, lets you see exactly who is selling your data, and lets you shut down any address the moment it starts getting spammed. This is one of the most underused features in all of email. Let me show you the whole thing. Let's start with the actual scale of the problem, because I want you to understand this isn't just an annoyance. It's a genuine privacy and security issue. According to research from phishing statistics firms, 3.4 billion spam and phishing emails are sent globally every single day. In 2024, 1 in every 5 emails globally contained some form of spam or phishing content. Google's own systems block over 100 million phishing emails daily, which means even with the best filters in the world running at full speed, billions still get through. And here's the statistic that should really stop you cold. 81.9% of phishing victims had their email addresses leaked in previous data breaches before the attack happened. So the chain is this. You sign up somewhere, that service gets breached or sells your data, your email address lands on a spam list, and then the targeting begins. Every new account you create with your real email address is another link in that chain. Every newsletter you subscribe to, every online store you shop at, every app you register for, each one is a new potential leak point. And the brutal reality is that you have almost no visibility into which one of these services is the one that burned you, because they all have the same address, yours. That is the core problem. And the solution isn't what most people do, which is create a second Gmail account that they use as a sacrificial inbox, let it fill up with garbage, and then log out and forget about it. That approach has 3 serious problems. First, it means you have to actually check and manage multiple inboxes, which defeats the entire point of wanting a clean email experience. Second, you lose important emails. A receipt or a confirmation or a password reset ends up in the spam inbox that you haven't logged into in 4 months. Third, it doesn't give you any information. When your second Gmail fills up with junk, you still don't know which service sold you out. You just have a second mailbox full of garbage instead of one. What you actually need is a system that does 3 things simultaneously. It gives you unique, different-looking email addresses for every service you use. It funnels all the emails from those addresses into your single main inbox. And it tells you, by the address an email was sent to, exactly which service it came from. Once you have that, you have complete visibility and complete control. And Gmail has had the foundation for this built in for years. Almost nobody uses it. It's called plus addressing, or the Gmail plus trick. Here is exactly how it works. Your Gmail address is, let's say, yournameeggmail.com. That's your real address. Now, Gmail has a rule built into its system. Any email sent to your name plus anything eggmail.com will be delivered to your normal yournameeggmail.com inbox. The plus sign and everything after it, up until the arrow or symbol, gets ignored by Gmail's delivery system. You can put literally anything you want after that plus sign. Your name plus Amazon, aggmail.com. Your name plus Netflix, igmail.com. Your name plus newsletters, igmail.com. Your name plus that sketchy website, agemail.com. All of them land in your main inbox. No setup required, no new accounts, no new passwords, nothing to configure before you start using it. You literally just start using these variations the next time you sign up for something. It's completely free. There's no limit on how many you create. But the power isn't just in receiving the emails. The power is in what happens in the to field. When an email arrives at yournamesamazon@aggmail.com, the to field in that email shows exactly that address. Your name plus Amazon@aggmail.com. Not your real address, that tag you put in there. So now you can do something incredibly useful. You can build Gmail filters based on that tag. Go to Gmail settings, click filters and blocked addresses, create a new filter, and in the to, already field type, your name plus Amazon@aggmail.com. Set the filter to apply a label called Amazon. Now every email from Amazon automatically gets a bright label the moment it hits your inbox. Do this for newsletters, for shopping receipts, for bank alerts, for subscription services, and suddenly your inbox stops being a flat, undifferentiated pile of everything and becomes an organized, labeled, automatically sorted system. You didn't change your inbox. You didn't use a third-party app. You used a feature that has been sitting inside Gmail this whole time. Here's where it gets even more useful, and this is the part that most people never think about. When you sign up for a loyalty program at a store, let's say you use your name plus target rewards agmail.com, and then 2 months later, you start getting spam sent to your name plus target rewards agmail.com from companies that have nothing to do with Target. You now know something important. You know that Target, or one of their marketing partners, shared your email address with a third party without you explicitly knowing about it. You have forensic level visibility into exactly who is doing what with your data. According to research, the most common type of spam is marketing and advertising, accounting for nearly 36% of all spam emails. A significant portion of that marketing spam comes not from random hackers, but from legitimate companies and their data sharing arrangements with advertising partners and list brokers. With plus addressing, you can see this happening in real time. And when you see it, your response is simple. Go to Gmail filters, create a rule for that tag, and mark everything sent to it as spam, or delete it automatically, or block it entirely. One filter applied once solves the problem permanently for that address. The spam from that one leak stops reaching your eyes. Your main inbox stays clean. Now, there's one limitation with the Gmail Plus trick that you need to know about, because I promised you accurate information and not just hype. Some websites, particularly older ones or ones with poorly written sign-up forms, will reject email, addresses that contain a plus sign. Their validation code doesn't expect that character in an email address and throws an error. It's not common, but it does happen. When it does, you have two options. The first option is Gmail's dot trick. Gmail ignores dots in the username part of your address. yournameagmail.com and your.nameagmail.com and yournnaamd@gmail.com are all exactly the same address to Gmail. Emails sent to any of these dot variations land in your main inbox. So for websites that don't accept the plus sign, you can use a specific dot placement as your identifying tag. Maybe you always use your .name for shopping sites and yorn.ame for social networks. It's subtler than the plus trick, and it's harder to automatically filter because you'd need to filter on the to field matching exact dot patterns, but it still gives you some traceability. The second option, and this is where we move from Gmail's built-in features to a more powerful system, is to use a dedicated email alias service. And this is what the most privacy-conscious users, the people who really understand how email tracking works, are actually doing today. The concept is simple. Instead of a variation of your real address, you get a completely different email address, something like xk7simpleLogin.com or your chosen alias at adia.io that has no visible connection to your real identity at all. When someone sends an email to that alias, the service intercepts it, strips any tracking pixels from it, and forwards it to your real inbox. When you reply, the reply goes back through the alias service, so the recipient still sees only the alias. Your real address never appears anywhere in the email chain. You can create an unlimited number of these for different services. And if one of them gets spammed, you disable it in your alias service dashboard, and it's gone. Done. No more emails from that source ever. You don't even have to set up a Gmail filter. You just flip a switch. There are three main services in this space that are worth knowing about. The first is Simple Login. Simple Login was acquired in 2022 by Proton, the same company behind Proton Mail, Proton VPN, and Proton Drive, which is significant because Proton is based in Switzerland and operates under Swiss privacy law, which is among the strongest in the world. Simple Login is fully open source, meaning its code is publicly available for anyone to audit and verify. On the free tier, you get 10 aliases, unlimited bandwidth, and browser extensions for Chrome and Firefox. On the premium tier, which is $30 per year, or included free if you already pay for any Proton subscription, you get unlimited aliases, unlimited custom domains, and PGP encryption for forwarded emails. This means even if you're using Gmail as your inbox, your emails are encrypted before they arrive. Simple Login also supports replying from your alias, so your entire email conversation can happen through the alias without ever exposing your real address. The second service is addy.io, previously known as anon-addy. Addy.io is also fully open source and is one of the most generous services in this space. The free tier gives you access to personal subdomain aliases, meaning you can create anything you usernamed addy.io with no hard cap on the number of aliases. The light paid plan is just $1 per month, which adds a custom domain. The pro plan is $3 per month and adds unlimited custom domains, more usernames, analytics, and bulk operations. Addy.io is based in the UK, which means it falls under Five Eyes intelligence sharing agreements. which is a consideration for users who have very specific threat models around government surveillance. However, the service is fully open source and can be self-hosted on your own server if that's a concern. For the vast majority of people, those who want to stop spam and track data leaks, not hide from government agencies, Addy.io is an excellent, affordable option. The third is Firefox Relay, which is built by Mozilla, the same organization behind the Firefox browser. Firefox Relay's free tier gives you 5 email aliases, which is modest, but enough to get started. The premium tier unlocks unlimited aliases and adds phone number masking, where you can also get a masked phone number that forwards calls and texts to your real number. Firefox Relay uses Amazon's email infrastructure for delivery, which is something privacy enthusiasts note, though Mozilla maintains that only they have access to the mapping between your aliases and your real address. Firefox Relay is probably the easiest of the 3 to get started with if you already use Firefox, because it integrates directly into the browser and can suggest or autofill an alias whenever a website asks for your email address. There's also DuckDuckGo email protection, which is worth mentioning. If you use the DuckDuckGo browser or extension, you get a free duck.com address that forwards to your real inbox while stripping email trackers. DuckDuckGo says they strip all email tracking pixels, those invisible single pixel images that tell the sender when and where you opened their email. This is a nice addition to any alias strategy, even if you're also using one of the services above. Now let me tie all of this together into one practical system, because having this information scattered across your head doesn't help you. Here's how a realistic, functional email organization setup looks when you put these tools together. Your real Gmail address, the one you've had for years, the one your family knows, the one tied to your Google account, never gets given to a single website or service again. It stays private for low-stakes signups, newsletters, free trials, promotions, contests, apps you're just trying out. You use Gmail plus addressing. Your name plus newsletter, igmail.com for all newsletters. Your name plus shopping, edgemail.com for all online stores. Your name plus apps, edgemail.com for new apps and services. You set up one filter for each of these tags in Gmail, applying a label. Now every email from those categories gets sorted automatically the moment it lands. For medium stakes accounts, social media platforms, fitness apps, entertainment services, anything you actually use regularly but don't want connected to your real identity, you use an alias from Simple Login or Addy.io. Each service gets its own unique alias. When any of them starts sending spam, you disable the alias in your dashboard. No, filter setup required. No interaction with Gmail settings, just off. For high stakes accounts, your bank, your investment accounts, your healthcare portal, your government accounts, your primary work email, your real address stays in use because these services actually need to reach you reliably, and the stakes of missing an email are high. But you apply labels and filters to them, so they're always visible and never buried. For everything else, the random website you need to register with once to download something, the forum you'll visit twice, the service you're not sure you trust, you use a fully disposable alias that you can kill instantly after you've gotten what you needed. The result of this system is an inbox that tells you a story every time you open it. You know where every email came from, you know which services are behaving themselves, and which ones are selling your data. You can shut down any unwanted source in seconds, and your real email address, your actual identity, never gets exposed to any of those potential breach points. That changes your relationship with spam from reactive, where you're constantly unsubscribing and blocking and cleaning up after leaks, to proactive, where you control every address and every leak is immediately visible and fixable. Let me address one more thing before the end, because people always ask this. What about the accounts you already have everywhere with your real email address? All those shopping sites and social platforms and apps you've been using for years that already have your real address. You can't ungive them your real address, but you can migrate. Most services have an account settings page where you can change your email address. It takes time, but if you work through your most used services over a few weeks, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, you can gradually replace your real address in those accounts with dedicated aliases. It's not urgent, it's a project. But every account you migrate is one more potential leak point that gets sealed. And here's why this matters beyond just spam. Remember those statistics from the beginning. Over 90% of cyber attacks begin with phishing as the initial entry point, according to CISA, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. The average cost of a phishing-related data breach reached $488 million in 2024, according to IBM's cost of a data breach report. At the individual level, phishing losses reported to the FBI cost Americans hundreds of millions of dollars every year. These attacks reach you through your email address. They find your address through data breaches, through data brokers, through companies selling your information. When your email address is unique per service, when a phishing email arrives at your name plus some store igmail.com claiming to be from your bank, you know immediately that it's fake because you never gave that address to your bank. The alias system doesn't just organize your inbox, it makes phishing attempts obvious. It turns attacks that are designed to look legitimate into obvious frauds the moment you see which address they were sent to. The reality is that email was never designed with privacy in mind. It was designed to deliver messages, and the whole system assumes that the entity sending you email is who they claim to be. Decades later, your email address has become one of the most valuable pieces of data attached to your identity online. A persistent, unique identifier that gets traded, sold, leaked, and targeted constantly. The most effective thing you can do is make sure that identifier is not a single static string that follows you across every service you use, but a dynamic system of disposable, trackable, controllable addresses, each one isolated, each one revocable, all feeding into one clean inbox. You already have Gmail. The plus trick works right now, this second, without installing anything or changing any settings. Start using your name plus shopping edgmail.com the next time you buy something online. Set up a filter for it. Watch what happens over the next few weeks. See which stores keep their promises and which ones start sending you mail you never signed up for. That single habit change, one filter, one tag, is the beginning of actually understanding and controlling your email life. And when you're ready to go further, the alias services are there. Simple Login's free tier with 10 aliases is genuinely enough to get started and understand how the system works before you decide if the premium features are worth it. Stop creating new Gmail accounts that you'll forget about and abandon. Stop giving your real address to every website that asks for it. Stop treating your inbox like a thing that happens to you. You have the tools. The only question is whether you'll use them.